Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Day wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and it wants to snip at you with them.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Yeah, well, speaking of Ohio State, we can talk about the Big Ten championship. Indiana won 13-10 in well, no, not in overtime. They just won. Um,
Who's your daddy, baby? Who's your daddy? The amount of times I heard that in a bar in Auburn, Alabama was hilarious.
it has to be said that this is the greatest coaching job ever.
Yes.
I don't think people are fully appreciating how fucking bad Indiana was. They were like, we all agree Matt Campbell is a good coach for winning 8 games at Iowa State. Indiana was a worse program, and he just beat Ohio State and is the number one team in the country. Uh,
First number one win ever in program history for Indiana.
I know
This
it was.
going into a place like Indiana and going 24-2 in your first 2 years is literally like picking up CFB 26, saying, "Oh, I'm going to turn around a shitty program," and you set the difficulty to freshmen and you just run through it. And he did it in real life. It's fucking insane.
I know. Somebody had said after they won the Big Ten, after they won the game, Signetti was walking out there completely straight faced, and I don't remember the guy's Reddit username, but it was really funny. He was just like, Kurt Signetti is an Asian father in a white man's body, like the way he just does not react. I never related so hard to a comment. It was so funny. He could win the national championship and be completely straight faced.
God, dude, it's hard to overstate how big of the turn of a turnaround this is. Like they are the favorite for the national championship. 12 teams, 4 teams, whatever. They are the favorite. They beat the defending national champion. They caught up, quote unquote, to Ohio State after being what, 14, 17 points behind them last year on the road. I don't know. I don't know. Things are just different. Like this feels like Clemson. Like it feels like there is a new empire in college football, and Indiana's not an underdog story. They're not an under the radar thing. They are the team to beat. And that makes no sense to me. Vanderbilt pulling off a couple big wins last year, then following it up with 10 wins this year. That's insane. This happening to this scale and being so complete, unreal. I don't know. It still doesn't compute.
Right. And you know what? Getting into the actual game, I I want to pat myself in the back, but also say I was wrong because I said that both teams would get pressure on their respective QBs, and Indiana was in the back was hitting Julian Sand like pretty consistently. But I also thought he did a better job dealing with it than I expected. What surprised me was just that Ohio State's receivers didn't have as good of a day as I thought they would. It was actually that Indiana's secondary held up better than I expected, which kind of like counteracted the defensive line pressure that they were getting, or the how well Julian Sain was dealing with the defensive line pressure. You know.
Yeah, early in the first quarter when Sayan threw that pick and then Indiana ended up with just a field goal, I really thought it was like, okay, this is the Michigan game again, where like you really got to get touchdowns out of these short field opportunities because I thought Indiana's secondary would have problems in the second half covering the what three NFL receivers that are on Ohio State's team.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed that their defense held up so well and gave them a chance to win this game, even only scoring 13 points against a good defense.
Well, it was because Indiana got to sit with two safeties because they were getting so much pressure on just base with their four down linemen that they actually were just sitting with two safeties over the top. And that made it really hard for Ohio State to push it downfield as much as they wanted to. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy. Indiana has what, six 4 stars on the entire roster? That's it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they were killing Ohio State's. They were in the backfield every play.
I don't
Development.
know if they've
It's
seen anything like that this year. I think Michigan might have like just like without knowing anything, one of the better defensive fronts they faced, but this really was like their hardest game, obviously, but I don't know how else it would compare. Like they didn't play any other big games this year besides the Texas one, and Texas, their defense hadn't really gelled yet, I would say, in the beginning of the year. But I'm still surprised. I
Yeah,
picked Ohio State to win. I thought, they could get to 17, like even if they had a slow day, but this
right.
just solidifies Indiana's like defense, like in the way that they went about building it. Like it really is their front four that begins and ends everything. Because like Sayan was looking like a young quarterback again, and he just hasn't for most of the year.
Right. I will say I do think I still think this was Ohio State's game to lose at times. Um the 4th and 1 call in the red zone, like I agree with the call. But it's like the Philadelphia Eagles have broken the brains of every offensive coordinator in college football. You can't all do this QB sneak thing. It never works unless you're the Eagles, unless your quarterback squats 1,000 pounds and the running back behind him pushing him squats 2,000 pounds. You cannot just guaranteed QB sneak it for 1 yard when you've got Timothy Chalamet at quarterback. He's tiny. Okay, he can't just do that. I honestly think had they just run the ball with Bo Jackson, they probably just get it the 1 yard. I thought it was a horrible decision. I thought that was the difference in the game. Everyone's going to say it was the field goal. And of course, Ohio State missed a chip shot, but Indiana missed a 40-yarder. Like they both missed one field goal. The differential was about right. Um, that QB sneak was terrible. I don't know
yeah.
why you would call a QB sneak.
I
I
think yeah,
Go ahead.
I think another point where Ohio State should be kicking themselves that's not the field goal. That was no pun intended. Jeremiah Smith should have scored a touchdown on that deep ball. Like in the third quarter, I believe that they ended up getting a field goal out of that drive. I mean, it's an unfair standard for anyone except Jeremiah Smith because he's so good. You just expect him to make an awesome play there and beat the one guy you have to beat to score a touchdown. And yeah, that's probably not really fair, but I think it, so I'm gonna say it.
Right.
I mean, one of the issues that you were able to like look at Ohio State that I saw Ohio State complaining fans complaining about was how they handle short yardage in red zone. They normally have a ton of trips and they're pretty good at converting them, but the handful of times you do miss, you just hope it doesn't come back to bite you. And when your defense is playing lights out like it has all year, it's just not really a concern. This is the first time where like, oh, okay, this problem will affect us in the playoffs. And I think as well as Ohio State fans can take a loss, I think they're handling it okay. I mean, you're not eliminated. You're the 2 seed. You still get a bye, and you're probably going to play somebody else that's not Indiana. Really, the focus is like how do we get past them now? Because we left a lot of meat on the bone and they played the game of their lives. So I think we can get it. I mean, I don't think players are thinking, well, maybe, but I would be worried if I were them, but I think that's a fair a fair place to worry. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Ohio State, like you lost, but it was all there. And I don't know. It was just a championship fight. Like it's hard to feel that bad about it, especially when it's not an elimination game. I would just say I think they need to work the short game more with their receivers, and their receivers weirdly didn't do a lot of how do I describe it? Like Ryan Williams short game, like where when Alabama just throws it out to him and he makes like a 14-yard play. They don't seem to do that. They really seem to like try and run like a very NFL like we work the ball downfield and like advanced level passing. And when they don't have the time, they can't do that. And Julian saying just he's athletic, but he's not athletic enough to just make magic out of nothing. So I will say I kind of like the way he played. I came out of this game weirdly more positive on Julian Sade because I was like, wow, he's been coached well. Like he just keeps his eyes downfield. He's I mean like, he's playing in pressure. It's not perfect, but I was like, this guy's he's been coached properly. His feet are good. He's making the right reads for the most part, but didn't matter. The receivers just weren't getting the separation they normally would.
Yeah, I thought both quarterbacks played like good, not great. Like neither
Hmm.
one of them, had a Pavia moment and like won the game for their team. But they both played well enough that their performance is worthy of a win on either end. It just happened to be that Indiana had scored more points.
Right. Can we talk about the or not Pavia, the Mendoza post game interview? It was like I don't know, it was like a Christian like UFC fighter or something. Like he was trying to like
Yeah.
hype up a crowd. It was hilarious. I'd never heard him speak. I didn't know what I
Mm.
thought he would sound like, but it was not that. It was
So
really funny.
he had a very similar post game interview after Oregon and Penn State, so I kind of knew what we were getting into, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was just like emotional or if his voice is like normally there. So I don't know. But it's great when you see the raw emotion from a guy who just, I don't know, maybe change the landscape of the sport for the next however long. Like
I know. Yeah.
this could
yeah.
just be like, a quick blip on like, the rivalry now between Ohio State and Indiana. Who would have thought? But this could be, if you wanted to start writing a narrative, you could have this be a more important moment, but that remains to be seen.
The last time Indiana beat Ohio State was like 30 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe 40.
The last time Indiana won the Big Ten, it was World War II. It was like
Well,
literally, I think it
they
was
they had a
1945.
split title in 67, but their last solo conference title was in the 40s.
Okay, right. So it's either the Eisenhower administration or the Nixon administration or whoever either way, yes, it's been a long fucking time. Um, yeah. I think that's everything I had. Indiana's the favorite. You'd have to say they're the favorite for the title at this point. So, anything else?
Going
Yeah.
for it on that final third down, on 3rd and 6, just taking a shot and throwing it
Mm.
up to Charlie Becker. We are Charlie Becker carrying the flame
Uh,
and winning the game, dude. That's we always end up in the same place when we're talking about like close games and how you manage your late downs. And obviously, it's situational football, blah blah blah. Like, but at the same time, we look at Ohio State falling short in the red zone, getting stopped in that QB sneak, choosing to go for a field goal instead of going for that single yard to convert after they failed the other time. And that being the difference in the game, it's still like 3 minutes and you're giving the ball back to Signetti. I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, it's easy to say that now. Hindsight's 2020, but that
Yeah.
situational stuff is just going to come up again. And I guess Ohio State hasn't been tested on those just yet. So we'll see how they handle it in the next one.
Yeah. Also, we talked about Fernando Mendoza. Got to give a shout out to Alberto Mendoza, who after Fernando got rocked on their first drive and had to exit for a play, Alberto came in there, handed the ball off, and got back off the field. That dude's gotten a lot of reps this year because of how bad Indiana's been destroying teams. He's played most of the fourth quarters, but He played a snap in the Big Ten championship. Let's go, baby. Big day for the Mendozas.
Well, speaking of chaos, uh, Duke, Virginia, ACC championship. Duke wins 27-20 in overtime. Where do we start? I want to start at overtime, but we should take a beat. Virginia comes back. It looks like they're gonna lose. They managed to go 90 yards in what, a minute or two minutes? 2 minutes. They have fourth down conversions. They have a sideline catch that's like a guy who's caught four balls in his entire career catches the touchdown for Virginia to send them to overtime. Uh, it just seemed like they had it. It seemed like Duke had blown their chance, and then they go to overtime and they blow it. But so what do we think of this one?
The on the last drive when they started getting those penalties that helped them downfield a little bit. We all were sending the exact same message to the group chat that wow, Charlotte's doing its thing. They're making sure that that revenue is coming one way or the other. And getting Virginia across the finish line just made sense. But scoring that touchdown the way they did, even going out of bounds and coming back in, I didn't think reestablishing yourself mattered. I thought you couldn't be the first person to touch the ball after you go out of bounds. So that
If you're
was like
forced out, it matters if you're forced out by the defender.
that's crazy. I mean, the fact that we're like talking about that type of a rule on a game saving play is this was a phenomenal game. This is a phenomenal game. We all picked against Duke. They played terrible in so many of their non-conference games, but it was really sick that they said, we don't care about revenue. We don't care about our record. You got to play us. And when they got to overtime, they said, no pussyfooting around. A gap, B gap, A gap. And then they had to figure out that last 3 yards. But Virginia came out and did not just go A gap, B gap. They said, all right, what if we have the running back get the pitch and then he throws it back to the quarterback and then the quarterback goes and just hooks it to the first guy he sees. And what do we got? Our second Duke name, Luke Murgott, who did not make the ACC preview episode, but
First career interception.
Closes out their, I was going to say magic carpet ride season, but it's more of a, hey, who wants it?
I guess.
Who wants it more?
It's
Win
a
number
used,
8
this,
in the conference championship.
Duke's season is not a magic carpet ride. It's a used car you bought for $3,000 that it really sounded like the engine was going to die in it, but you ended up making the road trip.
I, dude, like, yeah. Indiana is a magic carpet ride. Duke is like, I think they were like surprised that they were in the conference title game. Like they didn't even know it was possible. But forgetting that, how? Okay. Let's just go into Virginia's head. They're on that final drive of the fourth quarter. That's when it's 4th and 5. That's when you do the stupid trick play like we have nothing to lose. That's when you do that play. You don't do it on the first play of overtime. Who thought that was it? I texted the group chat. I'm like, wow, it's like Steve Sarkisian teleported in just to make the dumbest possible play call on their final play. Like, what do you even call that play? The stupid
Like double pass.
Yeah, the double pass thing. And for the record, that trick play has been done to death and it never works. It literally doesn't work anymore. Okay?
Yeah.
Every time they run it, the defense never falls for it. Like, does not work. It's always obvious when you throw a wide receiver screen to a guy who's 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage that they're gonna just double pass it. I'm sorry. I was like pissed off watching that, and then watching Chandler Morris just break down in tears after that.
Oh yeah, that was. What did I
That was
say?
brutal.
All these ACC games get covered in the most cruel fashion. The announcers will say like, "Wow, they showed us who they are by losing today, and they have no one but themselves to blame." You can lay that at the feet of Chandler Morris, and then they zoom in on him crying with his dad.
Uh,
I was traumatized. I'm like, why are we doing this to this young? They had such a good year. Chandler Morris was a journeyman quarterback. This was like his last stop, and it was here. And now you're breaking my heart, guys. And for what? There's so many more interesting, fun, and happier things to look at than like this should be a cell phone video on Reddit. This should not be 4K HD, ESPN, prime time, crying Chandler Morris on my TV. Get the hell out of here with that. Show a fan. Show a fan that we'll never hear from again. Tell me someone who I don't know the height and weight of that they were crying. Like, this is terrible. Chandler Morris can have a great like career after. I don't know. I don't even think that's going to be true. But like, unless he's Caleb Williams in the first spot in the NFC title race in the NFL, this clip will follow him around, and that's not fucking fair. We need, as a world, need to come together and protect Chandler Morris from impact font Facebook memes that will be made about him by Virginia Tech fans that have confidence again. I'm paying attention.
I'm
can I?
I'm with you on that, but that was like triple coverage he threw into, man. Like
Horrible decision, but
Oh, so he deserves it. Okay, never mind.
I'm
Fuck
not saying he
him.
deserves it. I'm not saying he deserves it. I'm not saying he's the reason Virginia lost. I'm just saying that one play was a pretty bad idea from coaching and play calling all the way down to execution. Like that whole play was just fucking stupid.
can
Well,
I?
that's
Oh, you got it.
well, that's another thing about like a trick play that has to work in a very specific way. It's like you called a play for this gimmick and take the decision out of your quarterback's hands. The only choice he has now is fuck, throw it away. And there's no like reading the field. It's shrinking the decision to A, B. It doesn't even give like the impression or like it doesn't give the idea to the defense that you could check like make your third read and get out of this bad situation. It is, listen, we're gonna have the tight end throw a pass, or we're gonna be incomplete. That's how we're ending. That's how we're beginning our overtime. Take it or leave it. Like that is just such an insane decision to me. Like I never liked short side of the field trick plays anyway.
I hated it. But besides the point, after the game, can I just say it's really funny that the one year the ACC got rid of divisions, Coastal Chaos strikes the hardest to destroy them, to destroy all of their reputation. And then for Manny Diaz to come out after the game and go 7 Power 4 wins, that's a playoff team. Talking about fucking Duke.
Fucking beast
dude.
mode, dude.
Dude, yeah. I get it. I get that all of these coaches in the schools have to like politic for themselves because it's not a set system where like if you win a certain amount of games, you're in the playoff or you win your division or whatever the fuck. So they all have to do this shit because it's a subjective ranking. And if you can get on TV and a committee member hears you, they might do something about it. You don't know, so you got to do it. But yeah, man, come on. It's not serious. Also, very funny point that Manny Diaz, former Miami coach, has now made and won an ACC championship before the dude that they like hired days before actually firing Manny Diaz.
A
Mario
lot of that
Cristobal
going
hasn't won
around
an
these
ACC.
days. I don't understand how that
Yeah,
works.
can I say Miami should not have made the playoff on the basis they couldn't win this stupid piece of shit conference that where it's not for fucking 7-5 Duke won. Like I hate the ACC. I fucking hate it. What a
Yeah.
stupid conference.
8-5 Duke being your conference champion should remove you from the playoff. Like,
As an entire business unit. All of you guys can't go this season. Anyway, sorry, we shouldn't be so negative. Duke, good for you. Like
yeah,
I'm
go to the
you know
Pop
what
Tarts
you
Bowl, dude. Have an awesome season.
and you had seniors on your
Yo.
roster that got to win the ACC. It's been a long time since Duke has won the ACC. They've had better fucking football teams that didn't win the ACC, but fine. I'm happy for you.
There's a lot of that going around this year where it's been like 50 years since X won their conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully, for the sake of Chandler Morris and Virginia, I just hope this wasn't like their one good year. Like, I hope they're good next year, so this wasn't like this was their one chance in 40 years to win the ACC or something. Like for their sake, I hope that's not the case. Anything else on this one? Next game, North Texas at Tulane. Tulane won 34 to 21. A game that was both closer and further away than the score represented. What do we think of this? Both coaches had accepted jobs at other schools, but we're saying Tulane's head coach going to Florida, North Texas going to Oklahoma State. Um, I don't want to say that impacted the game when both teams are impacted by it, but what do we think?
Yeah, I
One
think
of
I
the
think you're right about that.
sorry, one of the things I think it was you, Vasisha, that asked in our chat was who checked out of this one more. And I don't know if that was the case, but when it got to like 31-7 after a tipped pick, I'm like, well, I don't know if it was for lack of trying, but they definitely fought their way back. Here's the sequence. There was a sneak right before halftime after like a questionable call on
A punt.
possible kick catch interference on a punt. It's 24-7, and they went for it on fourth down, and the score was 24-7 instead of 20-7. That's important. 31-7 after a tipped pick six, and there was just an awful throw to the check down that led to that pick in the first place. Like it was making like a safe play that ends up disastrously. It's the funniest thing that could happen to a quarterback. Then there's 9 minutes, 26 seconds left. North Texas has a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to make it 21-31. So they would have surpassed that 20 points had it been met. And going for that touchdown gave them the extra four that allowed this to be a 10-point game. And that is why you go for it every now and then. Like when you have a chance to put a team away, you do it because you lose control of the game at some point. It can just take one quarter. It can take 9 minutes, and you can let a lot of stuff slip through your fingers. So Tulane was good to hang on to this one, and I'm kind of surprised. I thought North Texas would definitely have this. Tulane's been in a lot of dogfights with teams that they're clearly better than, but being balanced all around and interfering with that North Texas run game, uh, it was enough to slow them down just enough. It's too bad about Ashton Hawkins, I think his first name was, last name Hawkins, the freshman running back who's been incredible all year. And one of the fumbles that helped things get a little topsy turvy in the game was because he got injured on a tackle and lost the ball. Really unfortunate, but his career's just getting started. So I hope he comes back stronger because he's so fun to watch.
Just a small note about your summary. It was not possible kick return interference. They just straight up ran into the guy and pushed it. Like it was definitely kick return interference, which did impact the game. On the flip side, by God, North Texas just could not get out of their own way. I mean, just they just could not get out of their own way. The both there was two picks in the game. I would not put the quarterback. Neither of them were the quarterback's fault. His receiver just completely miffed it, and it just fell directly into the Tulane receiver's hand or defender's hands twice. Um, God, I felt like I was cheering for North Texas in this game, and I really felt like they were the better team. But that end of half was awful. It was really bad. They just couldn't. They never recovered from it. And yeah, I mean that was like the game.
Yeah, I mean, I was pro North Texas in this game because I felt that their offense was good enough to not only beat Tulane, but like to get a real shot at whatever power team they would have to play in the playoff after that. And I was very surprised to see them just really be unable to get out of first gear the entire day. Like I've watched, I don't know, maybe five North Texas games this year, and every single time they've scored 50 points. Like this is just not at all what I've come to expect from this team.
Were they the number one ranked offense in the country?
Yeah, by SP plus, they were the number one ranked, and that's opponent
Yeah.
adjusted. So
And admittedly, like Tulane played a ball game. I mean, they tackled really well. I would say until the fourth quarter, where North Texas really started hitting a rhythm, like in the intermediate passing game, Tulane bottled them up, and then they just had two. They stopped him. Was it two red zone stops? They had the pick in the red zone to seal
Mhm.
it. Did they have they had another one, didn't they?
I believe so.
Was it
I think
for?
they had two red zone interceptions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, just a rough day for North Texas, and it made all the difference. That being said, is now that Tulane's in the playoff, are they coaching it out, or do they lose their head coach?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's coaching it out.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder what the point is of leaving a playoff team to go to a shitty non-playoff school to start working there, but whatever.
Imagine how hard Florida fans are rooting for Tulane to beat Ole Miss. That must be a very fun experience having a guy that you know has already made the decision and he's still like what applying in the fans' eyes. Like if there's any doubt of like, oh, this isn't G5 Billy, you get to watch him play in the SEC. So it felt
I,
really fun to say with a hat on.
I will say we did talk a lot about North Texas losing this game, but on offense, Tulane's run game was solid and very good situationally, and I can never say this guy. Is it Retzlaff? Retzlaff?
Yeah, yeah.
Retzloff.
Retzlaff. I like him a lot. He's just so big and strong. Like you know what I mean? He's just like he looks like an NFL QB like physically, and I like the way that he runs the ball. I mean, it makes it, they have a nice thing going offensively. If they can get it going in the playoff, we'll see. But that was it. Tulane wins by two scores, but both closer and further apart. I don't know how to describe that game. The American is better than the ACC. I said it. Anything else on that
Same
one?
number of playoff teams as whatever. Who's counting?
Next game, BYU played Texas Tech, lost 34-7 in Dallas, in Jerry World. Honestly, I started this game, and even though the score differential, how badly did they lose the first time to Texas Tech on the road?
It was like
Do
26-7 or something like that.
Right. I think the score differential was technically worse this time, but I thought BYU actually played better because they started this game. And the first drive, BYU has the ball. You can tell they really had a game plan to deal with the Texas Tech's defensive front. They were working the screen game. They were doing a lot of quick passes. They had Bachmeier doing some situational running. They really dominated the time of possession, got that touchdown. But I also thought that their game plan was so skewed out of fear of Texas Tech's defensive line that they honestly were self-crippling themselves at a certain point because it worked on that first drive and then it just never worked again. And they just never threw the ball downfield. And it wasn't even close. Texas Tech looked like the best team in the country. Them or Indiana, honestly. They look like the most complete team. And it
See,
just was a total blow.
I had the same take like simmering, but I did want to let it off because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a prisoner of the moment. I still feel like Ohio State, Indiana is probably the safe bet, but the way Texas Tech dominated this game makes you feel like a really good BYU team that's been able to protect against a pass rush, that's been able to find Chase Roberts and Parker Kingston, that's been able to have a consistent running game even against better rushing defenses. They're on a different level this season. And I do this every time, but they showed on the broadcast, like introducing the names of their defensive linemen. And each one is a stud from a different place. One from UCF, one from Stanford, one from another Big 12 team. I can't remember. I'm like, this is a rare assembly of athletes. And it's one thing for a coaching staff to like overcorrect to account for it, but I don't know. BYU, like you said, was just bottled up entirely because they weren't trying to attack downfield, and everything just kept closing in on their young quarterback. And when he started pressing in the second half, that's when you see all these mistakes start happening. It's like, how are receivers supposed to create separation when they only have 15 yards of space to work with? Like it's rough.
Yeah, as I was watching this, I'm like, there's no situation. They can play this game 100 times, and I'm like, Texas Tech will win every time. Like, they can't. Everything BYU is built to do, Texas Tech is built to completely neutralize. There's just nothing they can do. And yeah, Bachmeier, if these games against Texas Tech have definitely revealed that he's got some serious growing up to do offensively. Just in terms of him kind of being a little bit of a one read quarterback. Um, I will say physically also like big and strong and he looks like a giant baby out there. Like he's huge and he looks like a linebacker, you know? Like
Why
he
would
has
you say
such
he looks like a linebacker? Is there some obvious trait about his uniform maybe that doesn't look quarterback like?
It's just weird to see like Tim Tebow's body with like a baby face. Like it's insane. But yeah, he's got to play better, but I just don't know if there was much to be done here. Like Texas Tech is just better and a complete team. And
Yeah.
they didn't even start well. They missed a
Yeah.
field goal. They fell behind and it didn't matter.
Yeah. I think with Bear Bachmeier, we haven't really seen him do it against like, you know, potentially the best team in the country level talent, but there were a few games in the Big 12 where they opened up the passing offense and were letting him throw deep balls more frequently. And it worked in those games. I mean,
Yeah. I
granted,
was
it's
in the
fucking
stands
hard
for
to
one
do
of them.
that. It's hard to do that when you've got Texas Tech's like Heisman contender linebacker and four stud defensive linemen and a pretty damn good secondary too. But I would have liked to see them, you know, try to open it up some more. I guess they really didn't have to. It didn't get out of hand until the fourth quarter with the final score, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say much about this. It's just like yeah, Texas Tech is on another level than BYU. And for the record, BYU, you did not deserve to be eliminated from the playoff for this, but I guess you have to come from there's nothing you could have done. There's nothing you could have done.
Yes,
You
yes.
are just you, and you will be punished for being you. Like, that's all I have to say. Thankfully, Texas, I think this is the best Big 12 contender we've had since like the Baker Mayfield Oklahoma teams, though. I will say.
Hmm.
This could actually win the title. This Texas Tech team,
Yes.
which I haven't felt like in the past. So, that's all I had to say. Anything else?
Cameron Dickey, I don't know what running back awards he is up for, but god damn, like 1,300 yards, I believe. Wait, no, 13 touchdowns and counting on the ground. 5.7 yards per carry. He is over 1,000 though. And I'm like, how does a guy with so few touches have so much production? And the ways that they use him I are just like all right. So my brother plays basketball for Tulsa right now. His coach, I like him because he does about like 12 minutes of time for everyone on the team so that when you come in, you just play hard for that time and we're deep enough to use you. Like, it's a pretty basic strategy, but the way that they stick to it shows up in the box score. That's what Texas Tech is experiencing. Like the fact that they have Cameron Dickey in for like running plays, but it doesn't feel so predictable that he's there. Like they will have him out just to pass block. And when there's a chance for a big play receiving, like he can do it. He did against Utah. Like this guy is really dynamic. And I don't think they are as successful as they are without him there. Because I'm still not so impressed by Baron Morton. He does what he's supposed to do. And as long as he doesn't mess it up, they'll be fine. But I think it's Cameron Dickey coming in, who wasn't even the projected starter going into this year. Like that's what Cody Campbell cash can get you. Two stud running backs, and I'll just assume three because why not?
On Baron Morton though, he throws a nice fade. He's throwing a nice fade ball all season. They Texas Tech can vertically test you, which makes a big difference. But yeah, anything else? Great. Well, next game, Georgia played Alabama in the SEC title, won 28-7. And the score does not indicate how much of a blowout this was, frankly. This could have been 28-0 or 31-0, honestly, if Georgia manages the end of the first half a little bit better. Alabama puts up -3 rushing yards. And the big conversation coming out of this game was that they were going to miss the playoff, but we now know that's they'll be there. So,
Boo.
what did we think of this? Because I will have a lot to say, obviously.
I think I have less takes about Georgia and more things about Alabama.
What?
Maybe it's just some part of me that really wants to revel in Alabama getting their ass beat on national television in front of everybody. Uh, -3 rushing yards is insane. I saw that's Alabama's second time they've ever had negative rushing yards in their program history. That stuff. Only 3 sacks too by Georgia. So it's not like this is like, yeah, we ran for 50 yards, but they had 7 sacks. So, that all gets wiped away. No, it wasn't like that. I watching the game, it felt like they were not running the ball at all, which they weren't. And looking at the box score afterwards, there was 9 designed runs that they ran. One of them was a little like sweep handoff to Ryan Williams too, like, and it got 3 yards or whatever. But like for me, the thing that makes Alabama an unserious playoff team is that they have a total inability to run the ball. Like it's been their biggest weakness all year is stopping the run and generating forward progress in running the ball. And yeah, I know they have some injuries to their running backs. Jam Miller doesn't play. The second string running back also didn't play. But like, come on, man. Why are your running back stat lines like 4 carries for 7 yards? Like,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Josh. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just thinking when you have a stat line like that, it's not even like, oh, what a bad performance by our running backs. Usually, it's like, oh, this is a structural like shortcoming. There are less successful teams that have the same problem, and teams that don't plan to run as frequently that can get away with that. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like the type of thing that they're intending to do. Not just like not produce in that way, it just feels like, oh, you're just missing something that seems to be kind of important to sustaining drives and getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands so he doesn't have to make a million and one decisions every single game.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just can't be one dimensional against a team as good as Georgia. Like,
Yeah, I will say you hired an air raid coach. Like I yeah, because to me it's not even like a I mean, I guess it's partially an inability, but they also just lack a philosophical commitment to running the ball. And there's a lot of horseshit excuses about they didn't have Jam Miller this game, a running back they've hated all season for the record.
yeah.
Now he's not playing, and that's essential apparently. I'm sorry, your backup freshman running back was also the number one running back in the country. So I literally don't care. There's also been some excuses about how DeBoer needs more time to recruit his guys. Nick Saban also lost his first SEC title in 2008 in his second year. I'm like, yeah, Nick Saban didn't inherit Nick Saban's roster. He inherited
Yeah.
a much different situation. Okay, this is a totally different situation. You're also the number one team in the country by talent composite. So like, shut up. Like, given Georgia's the number two team in talent composite, so like, it's not that big of a difference. But yeah, I mean, offensively, they just could not. They could run the ball, and we got pressure. I mean, that was pretty much the biggest difference in the game. We got pressure, and they just didn't have any time to develop routes downfield. I saw a lot of talk about benching Ty Simpson, like a ton by Alabama fans. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why that would make a difference. Like the guy's running for his life every play. Like, you're gonna throw in some freshman in his first start ever in that
Yeah.
situation? Like,
I
I don't
I
think that has anything to do with it.
I think that Alabama fans are they're rusty at the part of like being a fan that's like, oh, my team's pretty good, but they're not like by far the best team in the country. And they're like, oh, well, I see all these other teams, like whenever they bad, they bitch about their quarterback and ask for the backup. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what they do when my team isn't great. I genuinely think that's what's happening with them.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's like some expectations adjustments. I mean, they're literally calling to fire him. If they had missed the playoff, I actually think there was like a 30% chance they fire this guy. I mean, missing the 12 team playoff as Alabama is an unacceptable result, but besides that, also the Alabama defense played pretty well for how much they were on the field. Dude, they were on the field for like 80 minutes in this game. Like and they came up with a lot of stops. Provided I thought Georgia kind of started sitting on the ball almost a little too much because we kind of knew Alabama couldn't score. So anytime it was 4th and 1 and we were on the 40, Kirby was just like, "We'll just punt it." Like they're not driving 90 yards on our defense. Like so we don't have to do anything. And yeah, I mean everything took care of itself. Most complete
Not to
performance. Mhm.
not to repeat a point that we already made, but that was the call to Birmingham. It was Kirby. He's up a little bit. We got to still keep him in.
Oh, Alabama's scoring drive. There was there was some we cannot have them lose 28-0, guys. Like we're gonna give them a PI, we're gonna give them a roughing. Dude, there was a unsportsmanlike conduct after the play on our safety. They didn't show the replay until 3 plays later. And the Alabama receiver after the play head butted him and then he pushed his head away. And then they called it. I'm like, I guess, whatever. You guys wanted them to score, so the score wasn't as bad. This could have been like 31 zip. Like this was a total domination. But anyway, no. I wish Tori was here just to tell him, I'm like, see, I told you, like, I was not traumatized. I was not scared of this team. I said we would win. This was the most complete performance by the team. I feel fine going into the playoff. I think we can beat anybody. That's all I have to say. Yeah, just nice, proper getting the monkey off our back before the playoffs.
Um, before we get out of this game, I just have to say while we're dunking on the young man, Ty Simpson throwing the ball out of bounds on 4th and 2 is fucking crazy. Like, fourth and
Yeah.
two on your own 17-yard line and you throw it away, man. Like, at least an interception is the same as what's going to happen because it's fourth down on your end of the field. Like, just throw it to someone. Like,
I mean, he was trying to throw. He just overthrew it. So yeah. But fourth and two on your own 17 is a bad call. They had three timeouts. There was 9 minutes left, I think, or eight
yeah,
50.
8-ish.
Yeah. And also, why throw it? Just run the fucking ball for 2 yards. Like
They can't do it.
I for 2 yards, you can't. Your
Can't do
guys
it.
aren't that
They
bad.
had three total.
Yeah, yeah. Either way, yeah. Alabama doesn't look like a team that, to be honest, they're playing Oklahoma in that first round. Shit, man. I don't even know if they could beat Oklahoma again. Like if the word is out on Alabama, if you just blitz them, they really can't do anything because they can't run the ball and their quarterback, what is he gonna do? Like he's got 5 milliseconds to make a
Yeah.
decision. Um, but anyway, yes. I don't understand what benching Ty Simpson would have done, but if you guys
No.
want to do it, then do it, I guess. Um, great. Next topic was Boise State winning the Mountain West. What did
Yeah.
we? Mhm.
So Boise State, kind of surprised they were there. Sorry, my cat just meowed in her sleep. I guess she's having a bad dream. Uh, sorry. Boise State um had a pretty milquetoast record. They were 8-4 in their conference championship. I don't know how this keeps happening with so many teams. But sure enough, make it back and guess who they're facing again? UNLV by hook or by crook. And made short work of them. And I think it's important that winning programs keep the train rolling even in a down year. You know, it was really hard for them to figure out their quarterback situation. Maddox Madsen was back in this one and played another good game against UNLV. So it's like you're still trying to figure out what direction your program's going in. You're still trying to figure out if you still have it as the landscape keeps changing and you're heading to the Pac-12. Like it's it's telling that championship programs know how to get there even when it's not perfect. This isn't a Duke thing where they snuck in. This is a like, god damn, it's the fucking Chiefs and they're 10-6 and they're in the playoffs and I'm so worried, even though they're the sixth seed. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit, after Gentry's gone and a great season last year, it means a lot to just run it back as a program. I agree.
to be hosting a 10-win team for the conference championship.
Hmm.
God, dude, I don't understand tie-breaking scenarios. We have to fix this. Like we need head-to-head to matter
Divisions.
more. But
Yeah,
that's the thing, we
just
just stopped having divisions. And I feel like going back would be not just an admission of failure. I admit things are failing right now, but I think just making consistent rules across the conferences, like, hey, we want the best opponents in. Let's make it the most sense we could so that head to head means the most things. Even if three teams are tied and two of them played and the third one hasn't played either, like that shouldn't be a factor. If somebody clearly is worse than somebody else, put them in ahead. Like, well, the other way around. I hate this. I hate this. I hate figuring this out. This sucks. Everyone go back to where they were in 2010. I'll take it from there.
Maximum 12-team conference, play 9 conference games, have divisions, bang, it's easy.
yeah, just have divisions that aren't as bad. I mean, the ACC could have just made their divisions less lopsided, so they didn't have like same with the Big Ten, where they didn't
Yeah.
just both have some Frankenstein's monster on the other side of the bracket producing like horrible teams every year. Just redraw that And then you would get better Big Ten and ACC title matchups. Like,
They even got out of that whole like Big Ten West and East by doing the legends and heroes or whatever they were doing.
No, no, that was before
No, that's what I
the
mean.
legends
Like
and leaders.
they made it like weirder so that they're stuck with like region lock things, even though clearly that does not matter anymore. So whatever. This sucks. I hate everything. Next topic.
Troy at JMU. JMU won 31-14. I'll be honest, this game was like my C game. Like I flipped to it a couple times, and it looked like JMU was blowing them out. But you had said that this was actually a closer game than maybe appeared.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Uh the punt got messed with the snowballs. The conference player of the year, Alonzo Barnett, showed up and had like the game like sealing touchdown. But we were kind of robbed of a fun finish because Troy's quarterback got hurt, and then the wheels just kind of fell off. It's hard when like mayhem strikes in the middle of a game just due to like a player missing from a spot. So uh, I'm excited to see JMU in the playoff. They definitely earned it. We didn't cover them as closely just because it was like, oh, they're killing teams in the Sun Belt. I don't know. But we also didn't think they would have a chance to be here because the ACC's a mess. So our bad. We were we were kind of late on them, but I'm excited to see them whenever the playoff games are.
They're playing Oregon,
Yeah,
so that will be hard. I'll be
that'll be
honest.
hard. They have a 6 foot quarterback that was the conference player of the year, but they were a scrappy team, and it's
Good for them.
exciting. It was a great moment. They got to rush the field and hold up a conference trophy. Like, what a feeling.
I lived in Nova. I lived my neighbors across the street were JMU fans. They have a small cultish fan base that I'm happy for. That's what I'll say. Next topic, FCF playoffs. John, you had a good chunk on this.
Yeah, so we can just do this kind of quick, but there's some fun stuff that happened in the FCS playoff. Uh, Number one, North Dakota State. Shocker, that North Dakota State is number one in the FCS. They lost to a team that was barely in the bracket and got eliminated. It was they were
Illinois
down.
State.
Yeah, Illinois State was down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and scored quickly and then got the ball back, scored with 51 seconds left on a fourth and goal, do or die moment, and then went for two, went in for the kill, and they got it. Like, that's every time this happens, I'm gonna have to say it because it just teams keep fucking this up. When you're in this situation, massive underdog, you can go for two to kill them. And yeah, maybe you look stupid if you lose, but at least you tried to win. This is exactly why you do this.
Virginia.
Um, so that was cool. Um, in the Montana South Dakota State game, Montana smoked South Dakota State, whatever. That's here because they ran a Statue of Liberty, and I fucking love the Statue of Liberty. Ever since I saw Boise State do it when I was like 6 years old in the Fiesta Bowl, I thought that was the coolest shit ever. So I'm gonna have to highlight it whenever it happens. I'll see if I can find a video of it we can put over the top of this. Um,
We ran a Statue of Liberty play in my like neighborhood like football league, and it was the sickest thing ever. Sean, I remember you, dude, because of that play.
so as we know about FCS football, it runs through the Dakotas and Montana. There are now two remaining Montana schools and only one Dakota left. And it's regular South Dakota, not South Dakota State. Three Dakotas lost this weekend. Crazy.
That's
Uh,
right. The Yotes are coming out on top, dude. Had a
um,
big shutout win over Mercer. That's
yeah,
crazy. I mean, Mercer was another one of those like FCS teams that was like really handling shit. I think what were they 10-1 when they played Auburn?
Won a
Yeah.
conference title.
Yeah.
Taken to the woodshed at home.
Yeah. I think trying to do this math quickly. Yeah, South Dakota beat Mercer by more than Auburn did. And Auburn won that game like 62 to 17. So South Dakota's better than Auburn, I guess, is where we're going with that.
And transitively, Matt Campbell's Iowa State blew out that South Dakota team. Hats off. Hats off.
What's going on with Matt Campbell lately? Anything? No? All right, cool.
That was the
No,
next topic.
Um, yeah,
let him finish. Yeah.
one last thing. Prairie View A&M won the SWAC and it's going to the Celebration Bowl. They have never won their conference. They've never been to the Celebration Bowl. Uh, they've always been ass. They were really bad last year, got a new coach, turned it around, don't know his name, but quick turnaround and they're going to an important bowl game. Fucking love it.
A lot of firsts this year. Indiana, Duke, Mercer, Prairie View A&M,
Texas
Georgia.
Tech won the Big 12 for the first time
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
A lot of nobody believed in us. Georgia.
Shut up. Ugh.
All right. Moving on to some of the sadder news of the season. There, I think there's some talk about more expansion now to
Yeah,
16. Stop.
they want to do
Stop.
16, the 5 versus 11, whatever. It sucks. It really sucks. Don't worry about it. They still haven't decided on what they're gonna do, and when it happens, we'll just all react and we'll keep
Keep
drinking that
watching.
garbage anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
If they go to 16, there are going to be four lost teams whining about how they didn't make the playoff. And then they'll go to 24, and there's going to be 7 and 5 teams bitching about how they're not in the
Dude,
playoff.
college
And
basketball, 64 teams fucking still bitching about not making the
win your
prep.
games!
Yeah.
Win your games! And you can be in the playoff. Like, God, don't be in a situation where you have to beg. Like, fucking make a statement and win enough games that you're just in. Hello, Indiana.
And JMU and Tulane make it. College football has become a transitive misery. Uh,
I wrote that the night I got the news.
right. So Penn State poaches Iowa State's head coach after a disastrous head coaching
Total
search.
clusterfuck.
Well, I don't see like that's just being reported. Like I don't know what their actual who they missed out on, who they didn't miss out on, but they got a good pick at a minimum. So
Yeah.
So there was I so I posed as a Penn State fan and tried to establish more anti Matt Campbell sentiment, but alas, my efforts fell short. I can't say I didn't try. When your best coach ever is potentially going to be stolen by a team that falls ass backwards into him, you do what you can and you feel no shame. I, from what I understand, getting in the mind of Penn State fans for a day it was day 54. They fired James Franklin in the middle of the season so that they could get a jump on candidates. And Rule gets a contract extension. Uh, Kalani Sitake gets a contract extension. Like so many guys got paid because James Franklin was no longer at Penn State. And Penn State seemed like a great job. So now they're worried about prestige. And their athletic director is the one holding the bag for fuck, I fired James Franklin and still don't have a replacement. Meanwhile, players are holding up signs at the end of games saying, hire Terry Smith, the interim coach. So now you have the locker room here and the athletic director very clearly with other candidates in mind, way over here, and your recruiting class is two people big. So things are in a really bad spot. And then they shift their attention to Campbell. That's when the headlines start. And everyone's like, oh my God, this would be a dream hire, especially at this point. Everything's going so wrong. Crumble Cookie and an apostle from the Church of Latter-day Saints made it so that Kalani Sitake would stay at BYU. Like, there's so many forces against Penn State in this search, and it's been so embarrassing having so many candidates slip through your fingers. And my understanding of why Campbell decided to leave now, of all times, with so many other opportunities in the past, uh, there's some dispute about one internally was the athletic director not ceding enough control to the big three coaches of football, men's and women's basketball. And who can say? I can't verify that. That's a rumor from a pretty trusted source, but we don't have all the information. Two, uh, the athletic director himself said Campbell, his mom is getting older, is dealing with medical issues, and this would put him right near home. And his daughter is going to college in DC. This would be so much closer. They could actually see her. And things start making sense. It just sucks. There's no easy way to lose your greatest head coach of all time. And especially when I feel you can say that so certainly. But as soon as that happens and Campbell has agreed to a contract, they've had the team meeting, players have hit the transfer portal the same night. Jimmy Rogers, Wazoo head coach, announced for Iowa State. What? No one had any idea who he was in this area. This is totally news. He was the South Dakota State 23-24 national champion in the FCS and got Wazoo to a 6-6 record after a rough year in 2024. A very impressive young coach has had success, but it sucks. Like I'm feeling so terrible that my poor little land grant institution gets their best coach ever ripped away by a Big Ten school that was like, fuck, 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 what do we do? Because they couldn't win 11 games a season. And then we immediately say, okay, time to rob a Pac 12 school as if they haven't been screwed over enough. And now that Pac 12 school, this late in the cycle now, is going to have to screw over some FCS program that probably just was eliminated today. Well, yesterday. So it's transitive misery. Everyone's always suffering. It's a zero sum game. Anytime you end a year happy, feel glad because not many people do.
I have a little bit more of a positive perspective.
Well,
Okay,
I can't even believe the sun has the gall to shine today.
here's my take. First of all, like I don't feel like this isn't like Lane Kiffin leaving or something. Like, he did
Mhm.
a good 10 years. He came into a shit program. He made them good, like solid. There's like a saying about if you do well and then you leave and it falls apart, then you didn't build anything. I think he built something. Like I don't think we're gonna go back to like the dredges of like the conference. I think we made a good hire to replace him. I think the roster won't be completely rated. Probably lose some people. Um, he did his time. He left for Penn State. He didn't leave us for Michigan State. Like
Yeah.
he left for like a top five job, top 10 job. Like you can win a national title level job after a long time. And he got an 8-year contract. Good for him. So I don't feel horrible. I think they nailed the hire. What the Wazoo head coach is really good. 6-6, picking up the pieces at Wazoo, and honestly played a lot of close games. They could have won 8, 9 games, actually, crazily enough.
Could have
So
knocked out Ole Miss from the playoff.
yeah,
My bad. Move them from the 6 seed to the 9, but
yes,
whatever.
could have knocked somebody else out of the playoff because Ole Miss would have gone down. Uh, But anyway, yeah, I feel okay. I feel optimistic. Also, a little, even though Matt Campbell was obviously the best coach we'd ever had, I did feel like we had hit our ceiling with him, like which is fine. That ceiling is making the Big 12 title. Maybe it's time for a new take. maybe we could go further. I don't feel horrible. I really don't. I think the program could be better after, you know? So that's my take. I don't feel as horrible about it. So
Yeah, if you're gonna lose like a guy that changes everything about your school and program, then there are worse ways it could have happened. It's gonna suck no matter how it does, but after 10 years and like the commitment staying this long, like
yeah.
I get it. Like there are people taking it much worse than me. So I'm like, all right, guys, it'll be all right. But yeah, it just sucks. That
There's
was our
only
guy. And he's taking a bunch of guys with him. I recognize the strength coach at Fairway, dude. Like now I gotta learn a bunch of new guys.
there's one thing that before we can, you know, close this chapter, but there's one thing I wanted to say about specifically Iowa State's like financial situation is really bad and they've had to pause renovations on Hilton Coliseum. I don't think they have the money. I kind of think that's part of the reason he left. Is I think financially things are really bad. And they haven't been able to keep up in the NIL game as much. So
That's the thing. They're able to
That's
like
tough.
stay afloat in the Big 12 for the most part, but there is going to have to be some like local governmental buy-in to like move the universities along. Iowa's not campaigning as heavy for it because, you know, that Big Ten contract is a little easier to work with. But other states have done things for their schools, and in small towns like Stillwater and Ames and Lubbock, until you get one guy that could buy the whole place, you're gonna like there's a major impact on if you have 61,500 people showing up to a stadium and 40,000. Like you kind of notice it in town. And as an Ames townie, I am very concerned that the program will suffer after Matt Campbell leaves. So think I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic, and Cam Newton, pimp ass Josh, has said his piece.
great. Well, I think that's everything. Was there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, here on this championship weekend, got to talk about the boys at McLaren, dude, won the championship this morning, bright and early at 7 a.m. Lando Norris, that's my dog. I did not think he had that dog in him like 2 weeks ago, but he fucking won it. That's my boy. Very important for the college football show. Leave it in. Leave it in.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you guys in I guess a few weeks now before the playoffs.
Folks gonna get tired of being patient with you.